a young girl named Melissa who resides with her mother Daria and her grandmother Elvira. Elvira frequently smokes and is frequently ill. Melissa is quite close to her grandmother, but has a strained relationship with her mother. One day, Melissa gets a party invite from a boy named Daniele, who is known as the most popular and affluent student at her school. Melissa has secretly had feelings for him for some time and decides to go to the party with her friend, Manuela. However, she struggles to find the courage to speak to Daniele. At the party, a boy accidentally pushes Melissa into the water, but she doesn't know how to swim. Fortunately, Daniele dives in and rescues her. He brings her to his backyard, which offers a stunning view of the ocean, and inquires about her family background. Melissa discloses that her father is an engineer, who is frequently away for work. As they continue talking, Daniele realizes Melissa harbors feelings for him. He seizes the opportunity and they share a tender moment. Nonetheless, he decided to leave her by herself, leaving Melissa feeling awful. After a significant period had elapsed, Daniele had yet to reach out to Melissa, despite her attempts to draw his interest. As the school year began, Melissa once more attempted to capture Daniele's interest, only to be met with his disregard. One night, Melissa and her friend Manuela visited a bar where they encountered Daniele and his companions. Daniele introduced Melissa to his friends, and she was overjoyed. He then took her to his residence, where they spent some time together. Melissa shared her feelings of love for Daniele, only to be met with his mockery and rejection once more. This was Daniele's second act of betrayal towards Melissa. Growing tired of the situation, Melissa resolved to alter her behavior, aiming to emulate Daniele's lifestyle in pursuit of her own joy, even if it involved causing pain to others. Around the same time, Melissa's parents decided to put her grandmother, Elvira, in a nursing home due to her declining health. Daria and Melissa took Elvira to the nursing home, but Melissa was unhappy about it, as she was very close to her grandmother. They returned home, and Daria tried to talk to Melissa, but she didn't want to discuss her feelings. Starting from the next day, she went to a cafe with Manuela and caught the eye of a stranger sitting afar. She persistently gestured to him, and after a while, the man approached her. Melissa, however, quickly left the cafe, leaving Manuela perplexed. Days passed, and on Christmas, Elvira returned home. She noticed that Melissa seemed troubled and confided in Daria about her concerns. However, Daria dismissed her worries, claiming everything was fine. Later, Melissa received a call from Daniele, who invited her to his house under the pretext of a surprise. Melissa decided to visit him. There, he attempted to spend some more time and asked her to close her eyes. Out of nowhere, a buddy of Daniele's walked into the room and began kissing Melissa too. When Melissa figured out what they were up to, she initially tried to get out, but ended up coming back to join in on the intimate moments, showing she was indifferent. Melissa kept a journal where she documented every major event in her life. Upon learning of Melissa's actions from Manuela, she tried to persuade her to stop. The next day, Melissa took her scooter to the museum, where she encountered a man who took a seat beside her. They grew close, and Melissa documented their interactions in her journal. Unfortunately, her journal was later found by one of her classmates, who shared its contents with the whole class. Consequently, Melissa's private life, including her romantic escapades, was exposed to everyone. The following day, Manuela tried to see Melissa, but she brushed her off. At the same time, Marco, a classmate who had always had feelings for Melissa, gathered the bravery to ask her out. But just as they were about to start talking, Melissa got a call from Daniele, and Arnaldo, who is friends with Daniele, showed up with a surprise for Melissa. Arnaldo blindfolded Melissa and took her to a basement where 4 other boys were waiting. Upon realizing the situation, Melissa kept everything they were doing a secret. Word of Melissa's actions quickly spread around the school, and soon everyone knew about her promiscuity. Melissa then decided to make a profile on a dating site, where she chatted with various strangers. She connected with a man on the site and became very talkative. He asked her to his hotel room, claiming they wanted to spend some time together. Eager, Melissa gets ready and heads out for the hotel. At the same time, Daria comes back from home and gets a call from the nursing home, telling her that her grandmother's condition has worsened. Daria hurries to her room, searching for Melissa, but instead finds her diary. She takes the diary with her to the nursing home and, after flipping through its pages, uncovers her daughter's hidden truths. Although Daria is touched by what she finds, a stranger shows up and tells her that her grandmother has died. Daria bursts into tears. At the same moment, Melissa arrives at the hotel and finds a pile of clothes waiting for her. The stranger comes over quickly, but becomes furious when he sees Melissa wearing a combination of the clothes. He explains that he had hoped to fulfill a dream with Melissa, which involved him being beaten by Hunter. Melissa tries to do the same, but the stranger begins to assault her, scaring her. She manages to break free from the hotel and makes her way back home. Daria was in her room when she broke the devastating news of her grandmother's death to Melissa. Upon seeing the stranger's clothes, Daria understood Melissa's perspective. Daria handed over her diary to Melissa. Melissa assured Daria that the entries in her diary were genuine, causing both of them to shed tears. Daria expressed her regret for not being more attentive to Melissa and urged her to open up more in the future. As the day progressed, Melissa became more composed, as it marked the end of her academic year. She made a visit to Manuela before going to school, where they revived their bond. In the school environment, a dispute broke out between Arnaldo and Daniele regarding Daniele's involvement with Arnaldo's girlfriend, culminating in a physical altercation. In the midst of this, Melissa and Manuela witnessed the altercation but chose to move forward. Melissa brushed off Daniele's attempts to talk to her and went on to review her exam results. Marco opened up to Melissa, revealing his plans to leave their educational institution to delve deeper into his art studies and showing her some of her own sketches he had drawn. He then presented Melissa with all the sketches he had crafted in his notebook, which made her very happy. He asked Melissa to be his model for one last piece before he left. After completing the portrait, Melissa gave him a hug, and Marco went on his way. Daniel approached Melissa and asked her to come to a gathering at his place, but she initially refused. However, she eventually consented, and that night she went to the party with Manuela. During the party, Daniel and his buddies got drunk. Melissa quietly made her way to the backyard, prepared to take a swim despite the objections of others. She took a swim, looked happy, and the scene then moved to a later time when Melissa and her mom were seen near her grandmother's grave, where they left flowers and shared a warm embrace, showing a deep connection between them. This wraps up the story.